Level 1. The First Crossing. You are 18 years old. Life near the border has never been easy. Jobs are rare. Money is scarce. Every family struggles to survive. Every evening, older men gather around fires. They tell stories about hidden desert routes, secret crossings, easy money. One night, a local smuggler approaches you. He offers a simple job: carry a small package across the border. 1 night's work, 1 month's salary. You know the risks, but you also know your family needs money. So you say yes. Before sunrise, the journey begins. The desert is silent. The air is cold. Every sound feels dangerous. For hours you follow hidden paths, paths used for generations, paths that never appear on maps. Suddenly, lights appear in the distance. Border Patrol. Your heart begins racing. One mistake could change everything. You wait, completely silent. Minutes feel like hours. Finally, the patrol moves away. The route is clear again. A few hours later, you reach the destination. The package is delivered. The mission is complete. For the first time, you hold more money than you've ever seen. And without realizing it, your new life has begun. Level 2. Learning the route. 2 years have passed. You are no longer a beginner. The desert feels familiar now. You know where the patrols usually travel. You know which routes are safe and which routes should never be used. Every successful crossing teaches a lesson. Some lessons are learned from experience. Others are learned from mistakes. In this business, mistakes are expensive. Older smugglers begin trusting you. They share information. Hidden shortcuts. Water sources. Patrol schedules. Knowledge becomes your greatest weapon. One evening, a larger opportunity appears. The payment is bigger. The route is longer. The risk is higher. But success could change everything. The mission begins after midnight. No lights, no roads, no mistakes allowed, only darkness and sand. Hours pass. The desert becomes colder. The wind grows stronger. Visibility begins disappearing. A sandstorm is coming. Many people fear the storm. But experienced smugglers see opportunity. Patrols struggle to see. Tracks disappear quickly. Nature becomes your ally. Then something unexpected happens. You discover another group using the same route. Rival smugglers. Nobody speaks. Nobody moves. Both groups understand the situation. The desert belongs to everyone, but trust belongs to no one. Eventually, both groups continue their journey. No conflict. No words. Just survival. After 2 days of travel, you reach the destination. The delivery is successful. The payment is larger than ever before. Your reputation begins growing. People now recognize your name. New opportunities appear. Bigger jobs, longer journeys, greater rewards, greater dangers. You started as a desperate teenager. Now you are becoming a professional. The desert no longer feels unknown. It feels like home. But soon, the challenges will become much bigger, much more dangerous. The next chapter will test everything you've learned. Level 3. Building a network. 5 years ago, nobody knew your name. Today, things are different. Traders recognize you. Drivers recognize you. Smugglers recognize you. Your reputation has spread across the border region. People know one thing: you always finish the job. Success attracts attention. New clients appear. Bigger jobs arrive. More money becomes available. But success also attracts danger. Rivals begin watching. Patrols become more interested. The game is changing. One person can only do so much. So you begin building a network. Scouts, drivers, informants, guides. Each person plays a role. Each person becomes part of the operation. Your first scout is a local shepherd. Nobody pays attention to him, which makes him perfect. Every morning he reports patrol activity. Every evening he reports route conditions. Information becomes power. Soon, your network grows. 1 scout becomes 3. 3 becomes 6. Hidden eyes begin covering the entire region. Patrol movements are reported quickly. Dangerous routes are avoided. Operations become safer. Then comes your biggest opportunity yet. A wealthy trader needs a large shipment moved. The payment is enormous, bigger than anything you've ever seen. But the route passes through heavily monitored territory. For weeks, preparations begin. Scouts observe patrols. Drivers prepare vehicles. Supplies are gathered. Routes are studied. Nothing is left to chance. Finally, the night arrives. Vehicles leave one by one. Headlights remain off. Engines stay quiet. The convoy disappears into darkness. Everything goes according to plan, until a scout reports unexpected news. A patrol checkpoint has appeared directly ahead. The route is blocked. The team looks at you. They expect answers. They expect leadership. This is no longer about crossing borders. It is about making decisions under pressure. Quickly, you order a route change. Scouts guide the convoy through remote mountain trails. The journey becomes longer, more difficult, more dangerous. But the mission continues. 2 days later, the convoy arrives safely. The shipment is delivered. The payment exceeds all expectations. The operation becomes legendary throughout the region. From that day forward, everything changes. You are no longer a simple smuggler. You are becoming an organizer, a strategist, a leader, and with greater success comes greater enemies, somewhere beyond the horizon. A rival organization has noticed your rise. They are watching, waiting, planning. The next chapter will bring your first real enemy. Level 4. The competition. Success changes everything. The larger your network becomes, the more attention it attracts. Traders trust you. Drivers work for you. Scouts report to you. Business is growing. But somewhere beyond the desert, someone is not happy. Rumors begin spreading. Another organization controls the eastern routes. They have operated for years. They consider the region their territory, and they do not like competition. At first, nothing happens. Weeks pass peacefully. Then one morning, a scout arrives with bad news. One of your supply caches has disappeared. A few days later, another cache disappears. Then another. Somebody knows your routes. Somebody is watching your operation. You gather your team. Maps cover the table. Scouts provide reports. Drivers share information. Everyone searches for answers. One thing becomes clear. This is not random. This is a warning. Then comes another surprise. One of your scouts disappears. No message, no explanation, no trace. The desert suddenly feels much more dangerous. Weeks later, you finally meet your rival, not face to face, but through a message, a simple note left at one of your routes. 3 words: leave our territory. Many people would retreat. Many people would surrender, but you built this network from nothing. You are not leaving. Instead of fighting, you become smarter. Routes change every week. Supply locations move constantly. Scouts travel different paths. Predictability disappears. For months, the strategy works. Operations continue. Deliveries succeed. Business grows. The rival organization becomes frustrated. Their attacks stop producing results. Then comes the biggest job in your career. The largest shipment, the largest payment, the largest risk. Every vehicle in your network will participate. Success could make you the most powerful operator in the region. The convoy moves at night. Everything appears normal. Then a scout delivers shocking news. The rival organization knows the route. They are waiting ahead. For the first time, avoiding conflict may not be possible. Every decision matters. Every minute counts. Your future depends on what happens next. The desert grows silent. Vehicles stop moving. Drivers wait. Scouts watch the horizon. Somewhere ahead, your rivals are waiting. The next chapter will change everything. Level 5. The Showdown. The convoy remains motionless. Engines are silent. Drivers wait nervously. Scouts watch through binoculars. Somewhere ahead, your rivals are preparing. Everyone looks toward you. The next decision could determine the future of the entire network. Charging forward would be reckless. Turning back would destroy your reputation. Neither option feels right, so you choose a third option, something your rivals won't expect. Half of the convoy continues toward the original route. The other half secretly changes direction. It is a gamble, a risky one. But confusion can be more powerful than force. Hours later, scouts report movement. The rival organization has followed the wrong convoy. Your plan is working. For now. Meanwhile, your real shipment continues moving, through hidden valleys, through forgotten mountain trails. Routes few people know exist. Every mile increases the chance of success. Then disaster strikes. A vehicle breaks down. The convoy stops. Time begins running out. If patrols arrive, everything could be lost. Panic spreads quickly. Drivers argue. Scouts worry. Some suggest abandoning the shipment. Others want to retreat. The situation begins falling apart. You raise your hand. Everyone becomes quiet. Calm leadership replaces panic. Solutions replace fear. The team begins working together again. For 6 straight hours, repairs continue. Dust fills the air. Temperatures rise. Nobody quits. Nobody leaves. The entire operation depends on teamwork. Finally, the engine starts. Cheers erupt across the convoy. The mission is alive again. The journey continues. 2 days later, the shipment reaches its destination. Every crate arrives safely. Every vehicle survives the journey. The largest operation of your career is complete. News spreads quickly. Traders hear the story. Drivers tell the tale. Scouts repeat the details. The operation becomes legendary across the border region, but the greatest victory isn't the money. It isn't the reputation. It isn't the success. It is what you learned. Intelligence beats force. Planning beats luck. Leadership beats fear. Weeks later, the rival organization disappears. Their routes become quiet. Their scouts vanish. Their influence fades. The competition is over. For the first time, you control the most important routes in the region. Your network has never been stronger. Your reputation has never been greater. But success brings new challenges, bigger opportunities, bigger risks, and much bigger enemies. The next chapter will take your operation beyond the border. Level 6, Expansion. The desert no longer feels small. Your network controls major routes. Traders trust you. Drivers work for you. Scouts report from hundreds of miles away. The operation has grown beyond anything you imagined. But growth creates new opportunities and new problems. One evening, a wealthy trader arrives. His offer is unlike anything before. The route crosses multiple borders, multiple regions, multiple checkpoints. The payment is enormous. The risk is even greater. For the first time, desert knowledge alone is not enough. New territories require new contacts. New routes require new guides. New regions require new information. Expansion begins. Over the next year, the network grows rapidly. New scouts join. New drivers arrive. New routes open. Every successful operation expands your influence. But success attracts attention. Not from rivals. Not from patrols. Something much bigger. Authorities begin noticing unusual activity. Questions start appearing. Investigations begin. At first, nothing changes. Operations continue normally. Deliveries succeed. Routes remain active. Yet something feels different. The pressure is growing. Then comes the warning. One of your trusted scouts arrives unexpectedly. His expression says everything. Something is wrong. Very wrong. Several routes have become compromised. Observation teams have appeared. Monitoring has increased. The old methods no longer work. The game is changing again. For days, meetings continue. Every route is reviewed. Every contact is evaluated. Every weakness is examined. The network must adapt or fail. Adaptation becomes survival. Routes change, schedules change, communication methods change. The organization evolves. Once again, flexibility becomes your greatest strength. Months later, the network survives. Operations continue. Challenges are overcome. Growth returns. But the experience leaves a lasting lesson. Bigger organizations face bigger risks. Looking back, you realize how far you've come. A desperate teenager carrying a single package, now managing a network that stretches across entire regions. The journey has transformed everything, yet deep down, you know this chapter is only the beginning. The world beyond the border is much larger, much more complicated, and much more dangerous. Somewhere far away, a powerful organization has noticed your rise. Unlike previous rivals, these opponents operate on a completely different level. The next chapter will bring your greatest challenge yet. Level 7. The Empire. Nearly 20 years have passed since your first crossing. The frightened teenager is gone. The inexperienced courier is gone. The desert survivor is gone. In their place stands something very different. A leader, a planner, a strategist. Your network now stretches farther than ever before. Every day begins with information. Reports arrive from every direction. Scouts send updates. Drivers report conditions. Traders request meetings. Hundreds of decisions must be made. Success has become a full-time responsibility. The operation now moves more goods than ever before. More routes, more vehicles, more people, more risk. Growth has brought power, but power creates new problems. One morning, a trusted advisor brings concerning news. Some team members are becoming careless. Procedures are being ignored. Standards are slipping. Success has made people comfortable, and comfort can be dangerous. You immediately begin inspections. Routes are reviewed. Operations are examined. Weaknesses are identified. Problems are corrected. The network must remain disciplined. Growth means nothing without control. While dealing with internal problems, another challenge appears. A powerful organization begins expanding into your territory. They have more money, more resources, more influence. For the first time in years, a serious threat has arrived. Unlike previous rivals, these competitors use business instead of intimidation. Better offers, faster service, larger resources. They are trying to replace you. Some traders begin switching sides. Some drivers accept better offers. Some routes become less profitable. The empire you built begins facing pressure from every direction. Panic would be easy. Fear would be natural. But experience teaches a different lesson. Problems are solved through strategy, not emotion, not anger, not desperation. Instead of fighting harder, you become smarter. Operations become more efficient. Routes become faster. Communication improves, reliability increases. The network adapts once again. Slowly, the pressure begins fading. Traders return. Drivers regain confidence. Operations stabilize. The organization survives another challenge. Once again, adaptation proves stronger than force. Years of leadership have changed your perspective. Success is no longer about money. It is no longer about reputation. It is about stability, sustainability, longevity, building something that lasts. Looking across the region, you realize something remarkable. The operation has become larger than you ever imagined. The empire is real, but every empire faces a final test. Soon, the biggest crisis of your life will arrive, and nothing will ever be the same again. Level 8. The Crisis. For years, your network survived every challenge. Rivals came and went. Routes changed. Markets shifted. New opportunities appeared. New dangers emerged. Somehow the operation always adapted. But this time feels different. This time the threat is everywhere. Reports arrive daily. Rising costs, route closures, increased monitoring, unreliable contacts, delayed deliveries. Problems begin appearing faster than solutions. The network starts feeling the pressure. Drivers become frustrated. Traders become nervous. Scouts report fewer safe routes. Confidence begins fading. Uncertainty spreads. Then comes the worst news yet. One of your oldest routes is lost. A route that supported the network for years. A route everyone depended on. Overnight, everything changes. Some people recommend expansion. Others recommend retreat. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a solution. But nobody knows the future. The decision belongs to you. For several nights, sleep becomes difficult. You review every report, every route, every operation, searching for answers, searching for a path forward. Then something unexpected happens. You find an old notebook, notes from your first years. The first routes, the first crossings, the first lessons. It reminds you of something important. Simplicity built everything. Somewhere along the way, growth became the goal. Expansion became the focus. Bigger operations, bigger risks, bigger responsibilities. Perhaps the answer is not becoming larger. Perhaps the answer is becoming better. The next morning, a new strategy is announced. Smaller operations, safer routes, stronger relationships, better organization, less risk, more stability. At first, people doubt the plan. Some believe the organization is shrinking. Some believe it is retreating. But you see something they don't. Survival is more important than size. Months begin passing. Slowly the pressure decreases. Operations become smoother. Problems become manageable. Confidence starts returning. Stability replaces chaos. The network survives. Not because it became bigger, not because it became richer, but because it became smarter. The crisis teaches a lesson few leaders ever learn. Growth means nothing without balance. Looking back, you realize the crisis changed you. Years ago, success meant expansion. Today, success means sustainability. The way you think has evolved. The way you lead has evolved. The storm has passed. The network survives. The future remains uncertain. But one thing is clear. Your greatest journey is almost over. One final chapter remains. The chapter that will define your legacy. Level 9. The legacy. More than 30 years have passed since your first crossing. The desert feels different now. Not because it changed. Because you changed. The young man chasing money is gone. The ambitious operator is gone. The empire builder is gone. Today, experience guides every decision. The network still operates. Routes remain active. Traders still trust your name. Drivers still respect your leadership. But something feels different. For the first time, you begin thinking about life beyond the operation. One afternoon, a young scout asks a question. What happens when you leave? The room becomes quiet. Nobody has considered it before, not even you. That night, sleep does not come easily. The question repeats itself. What happens next? What remains after you are gone? What kind of legacy will you leave behind? Over the following months, you begin preparing others. Younger leaders receive more responsibility. Important decisions are shared. Knowledge is passed down. Experience is transferred. Future leaders begin emerging. Some people believe leadership means control. Years of experience taught a different lesson. Real leadership means creating leaders, building something that survives without you. As responsibilities shift, life becomes quieter. Fewer emergencies, fewer sleepless nights, fewer difficult decisions. The organization no longer depends entirely on one person. One evening, you visit the route where everything began. The same desert, the same mountains, the same horizon. Decades have passed, yet somehow it feels like yesterday. You remember the first package, the first crossing, the first payment, the first mistake, the first success. Every chapter of the journey returns to your memory. Looking back, the money was never the most important part. The routes were never the most important part. Even the network was never the most important part. The people were, the friendships, the trust, the lessons learned. Years later, the younger generation now leads the operation. They make decisions. They solve problems. They build the future, exactly as you once did. One day, a young recruit joins the network. Nervous, uncertain, full of questions, he reminds you of someone, yourself, 30 years ago. The cycle continues. New faces arrive. New stories begin. New journeys unfold. The world keeps moving forward, as it always has. 32 years ago, you were a frightened teenager carrying a single package across the desert. You had no idea what the future held. Step by step, route by route, challenge by challenge, you built a life. You built a network. You built a legacy. And in the end, that legacy became your greatest achievement. from one crossing to an entire network, from survival to leadership, from ambition to legacy. This was your life as a smuggler.